Bienvenido, and welcome to another episode of me talking about things that I don't really understand. Today, I'm sorry, I'm talking way too fast. I just had my fourth cup of joe, and I am feeling it! You know, I actually wondered why we always called it a cup of joe. And it turns out there's actually several theories behind this name. The first one is that in 1913, the Secretary of the Navy, Josephus Daniels, prohibited alcohol consumption aboard his naval vessels, which led to more coffee consumption. Another theory is that it's a shortened version of two other slang names for coffee, Java and Jamo. And finally, the last theory is that coffee is considered a common man drink, while Joe is considered a common man name.
Hey.
Look, I'm a man that takes my coffee seriously. And when I first moved to France, I couldn't believe how hard it was for me to just order the right kind of coffee. I mean, I wasn't that surprised, most things are overcomplicated in France, but I know the word for coffee in French is un café. So why don't I get the same drink? A coffee is a coffee, right? Wrong! So for starters, let me just break down all the differences between ordering a coffee in Europe and ordering a coffee in America. In a French cafe, by the way, I always thought it was weird that a place that sells coffee was called coffee. It's like calling a restaurant food. You wanna go to a food? Just seems weird. But anyway, if in one of these French cafes you order un café, you won't get a regular brewed coffee like most of us Americans are used to, you'll get an espresso. And yes, it's an espresso, not an expresso. Calling it an expresso won't make the barista go any faster. Espresso means pressed out in Italian, as that's how coffee is made. And while we're talking about Italy, know that if you're ever there, latte just means milk. Don't ask for a latte in Italy if this is what you want. Hi, can I get a venti latte, please? Cosa vuoi? Yeah, venti latte. Venti latte? Okay. And venti. Here you go! In France, however, if you want milk in your coffee, you can order un café au lait, which literally means a milk coffee. But make sure to have them in the morning. Having milk in your coffee after breakfast time is considered sacrilegious in most places in Europe. That's right, sacrilegious. That's how seriously they take their coffee. Un café noisette, on the other hand, is an espresso with a dash of cream or steamed milk. Now, even though noisette is French for hazelnut, un café noisette doesn't actually contain any nuts. It's just referring to the color of the coffees. Adding a dash of cream makes it a hazelnut color. Color is also the reason for the name cappuccino, as it refers to the color of the Capuchin friar's robes.
Ah. Oh, you added milk, the color, it's
like wood.
No, it's
Like a potato?
No, you ever seen those Capuchin friar robes?
In Europe, the closest thing you'll get to a brewed coffee is an Americano. It's similar in that it has a higher level of water for a smaller level of coffee used. Where espresso uses pressure to force hot water through finely ground coffee, brewed coffee involves pouring hot water over fresh coffee ground, which is known as a pour-over method, or adding fresh coffee grounds into hot water, known as immersion brewing.
Bonjour, un café, please?
Yeah, here you go.
No, pardon, this is too big.
Oh, so you want a tall?
No, not at all.
Oh, so you want a venti?
Venti? 20?
Yeah, it's 20 ounces.
No, that says 20 oz.
Yeah, because it's 20 ounces.
Attendez, you guys drink that much coffee? Oh mon Dieu! No wonder you guys are able to work 40 hours a week!
Now, obviously, it's not just Europe and America where coffee ordering and coffee culture is so different. So let's check out some other coffee cultures around the world. In 2016, Albania surpassed Spain as the country with the most coffee shops per capita. There are 7 coffee houses per 100 person in Albania.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm looking for a coffee shop.
Oh, yeah, no problem. There's actually one across the street.
Oh, great, thank you.
There's one next door as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's one upstairs. Downstairs.
Isn't this ground level?
And you're actually in one now. Here's your coffee. Now, Sweden is one of the top 10 coffee consumers in the world. As of 2020, it was found that an average person in Sweden consumes 7.6 kilograms of coffee per year, which is over double that of the US. Who thought a country could consume more than the US? Brazil is actually the biggest producer of coffee today. Fun fact, the 1932 Brazilian Olympic team only made it to the LA Olympics that summer by boarding a ship that was loaded with coffee and selling it along the way to fund their trip. They were able to compete that summer and went on to win a total of 0 medals. Probably should have drank some of that coffee instead of selling it. Finland today is actually the biggest consumer of coffee per capita. Interestingly enough, coffee was once seen as the drink of the devil in the 1600s. The clergy back then actually tried to ban it. They got the Pope, Clement VIII, to have a final say in the matter, and when he tried it, he actually liked it so much that he ended up by baptizing it instead. Probably shouldn't have asked him to try it after a night of too much holy wine. In the US, popularity rose after the Boston Tea Party and the heavy tax on tea imposed by the British. This naturally led them to drink more coffee instead. Ethiopia is the world's 5th largest coffee producer, and the traditional brewing and serving of the coffee there can take up to 2 hours. No wonder they don't have a Starbucks there.
Hi, can I get a coffee, please?
Coffee, I'll have that ready in 2 hours, sir.
No, just a regular cup of coffee, thank you.
Yes, sir, coming right up in 2 hours.
What are you talking about? It's just coffee grains and water. That's it.
Oh, you want water too? That'll be ready in 3 hours. I'll be back in a jiffy. But then I realized I'm lucky to be in France as an American coffee lover, because in other countries, it's not just the language that will leave you holding the wrong coffee. There are some crazy ways to make coffee around the world that even the French couldn't imagine. Vietnamese egg coffee is a coffee prepared with egg yolks, sugar, condensed milk, and coffee. Actually, come to think of it, that sounds like a tasty coffee type eggnog. It shouldn't be on the list. Kaffeost is a northern Scandinavian tradition that involves putting a squeaky halloumi type cheese at the bottom of your coffee. This then turns the cheese square into a cheesy coffee sponge. Cheesy coffee sponge, yum. Kaffeost originated with the Sami people of Lapland. They were traditionally reindeer herders, and when coffee became widely available, they used their traditional reindeer milk cheese to complement the coffee. But you think cheese in coffee is bad? Oh, sir. In Indonesia, kopi luwak is coffee brewed from coffee cherries that have been eaten and digested, pooed out, by the Asian palm civet, a mammal that's pretty much a cross between a weasel, a mongoose, and a cat. Kopi luwak is described as having a complex flavor that is smooth, earthy, and sweet with a hint of chocolate. I bet it's earthy. Oh.
Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. Today we will be looking at coffee beans. We will be smelling them and analyzing the flavors. This first one is really quite special. It smells sort of like Parisian sidewalks with a aftertaste of filet mignon. It's really quite special because it's been partially digested by a pampered Parisian poodle, which is really quite nice, yes. The second one is, Parisian metro. It has notes of musty water and cigars. It is, I believe, rat poo coffee. It's really nice, very nice.
Amazing. And finally, for the last one here, we have,
it's instant coffee. Disgusting.
Just imagine how many different types of animal poops they had to try before determining that the Asian palm civet coffee poops made the best cup of joe. Now, I don't know about your animal list, but the Asian palm civet doesn't fall in my top 100. So what do you think? Who does coffee culture right? Is drinking coffee that's been pooed out by an Asian palm civet any weirder than a Starbucks tall being small? To finish up, I'm gonna leave you with my favorite type of coffee, which is the only right answer: brewed, black, no sugar, no milk. Straight caffeine into my veins. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos every week, and let me know in the comments what your favorite type of coffee is. Au revoir!